Hello guys, today we're going to be doing our June monthly closeout. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Will probably be quick and easy. Let's hope. All right, so first thing, I want to make sure we are in a good Zoom so y'all can see. Okay, so we're going to start with our income. Let me get the calculator. Yep, we're going to keep the calculator on this side. So for income, so our first income was, hold on, move y'all over a little bit more. I don't want to be too zoomed out. Okay. Our first income was 7,916, and then for our pay period number 2, it was $5,082. Okay. Oh, my. Okay. So our income for this month was, oh, okay, I'm going to wipe that out. Okay, I'm going to wipe that out. Our income that we brought in this month was 12,998. Okay. Okay. So as you know, if you follow along with me, this is not usual. I think this may be the first time we've ever hit such a high number, but we had a lot of things going on this month, and I've already explained them in the monthly budget, so I'm not going to explain them again. But let's see. So 12,998 minus 10,141. So our income went up $2,857. Beautiful. That is amazing. So I'm going to bubble those. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and do our bills. So starting out with rent. All right. So the first pay period was $12.30. So that was our prorated rent amount this month. And then since we had more income, I set aside the first half of the rent for July. All right, so $790. So put towards rent, we actually had, oh no, that's the wrong page, smiling. We actually had $2,020. Okay. Car insurance is on the first check. It was actually $181. So 181. All right. And then the phones, we did go in and cancel our mother-in-law's phone, but this is the last month that we had to pay it. So our phones was $59. So that'll be down next month. So that was right. Okay, our lights one, I think both of the light bills came in at the right 103 and 53. So the first one was 53, that's Georgia Power, our new provider. And the second one was 103. That was our last light bill for our old apartment. Okay. And then next is Xfinity. Xfinity was 60. Okay, so yes, that one is correct. Xfinity did come in at $60. This is our price for the year. So basically for the next 11 months. And then it goes up to, I think, 110, which is what we were paying in our old apartment. So I'm like, oh, okay. All right. And then ADT should be right at 93. That's two bills. Our ADT bill is not $93 a month. It's $40 a month, but that's two bills in there. Invest did come out at $100, and that's on our second pay period. Okay, subscriptions. So for our subscriptions, we have 34, and then we have 121. So our subscriptions was 155. Let's check those off. 155. Okay, so that one is right. And spent is money that we spent in May. So let's see, that should be just what it says. 281. And then 281 plus 46. 327. 327. Yep. Okay, beautiful. So that is correct. All right. And then let's go in and make sure there aren't any other bills that have not. Okay, perfect. All of those have been crossed off. So the bill section is good. Let's go ahead and add this up. So we have 2020 for rent. We have 181. Then we have 59. Then we have 103. Then we have 53. Then 60, 93, 100, 155, 327. Okay, so for bills, it was 3,151. I'm gonna run through that one more time because someone called me. 2020, 181, 59, 103, 53, 60, 93, 100, 155, 327. Okay, so that is right. So minus 2,400. So our bills went up $751. And these were the two changes, the rent and the car insurance. All right. That was actually a pretty good estimate for everything else though. All right, so now we're gonna move on along and we'll go down to spending. So for spending, I know that one is correct at 800, so 400 and 400. And then clothes, yep, clothes was 700. And then we'll add in car for 990. So this was the delivery of my husband's car. It came from, honestly, I don't remember where it came from, but it came from a different state. So we paid that. So I'm gonna put the check mark on there. And then the other thing that's in spending is the dining room set at $335. So it was so nice to have that dining room set when my niece, nephew, and my sister visited, because like they could just sit at the table. Oh, it was so nice. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and highlight these two since these are the two changes, and then we'll go ahead and add this on up. All right, so we have 800 plus 700 plus 990 plus 335. Okay, so this was 2,825, and then let's subtract 1,500. So this spending category went up $1,325. All right. And we can go ahead and debts is it's just that one, so I don't need to do that one. What we did end up doing is doing a personal loan, and it's at like, I think it's 11% for the car that we bought and all of the debt that we already had. So the other personal loan and then the credit card. We just put it all under one. And then let's go ahead and do the living binders. So y'all will see that next month. All right, the binders. So for the living binder, the first one we had 837. 837. Then for the other living binder, we had 568. Okay. All right. So for the living binder, we have $1,405. For the safety binder, we had, we had 2,370. And then we had 1,000 plus 1,477. 1,477. Okay. So for the safety binder, we put $3,847. And then in future, we did 662. And then we did 320. 982. in the future binder, 982. And then for luxuries, we put 500. So I'm just going to add that here. Luxuries, 500. All right. So binders. Okay, perfect. Binders are good. So I'm going to add this up. We have 1,405. And then we have 3,847. 3847. And then we have 982. And then we have 500. So this section was $6,734 into binders, and we're going to subtract $4,237. So this section went up $2,497. Okay, so that is all of our sections. Everything has a check mark on it. The income has been accounted for. Now we are going to go ahead and make sure that this is balanced and that all of our math is mathing. So for income, it was $12,998, 12,998, and then minus 3,151, minus 2,825, minus 6,734. Perfect, equals $288. All right, so this does balance out. This was a very, very beautiful month. So if you know, we've been going through a lot with the passing of my mother-in-law and just dealing with all of the finances that come with that. And so it was, and also we're in the middle of switching jobs as well. So just being covered this month was really good. Now next month, we'll get there when we get there, and hopefully it will also be a great month. But it's just it's unknown right now. But this month was great. I think we did all right with making sure we could put some money to the side to make sure that we will be covered for next month. So we're just doing our best over here, and God's doing the rest. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.